please come in. Yeah, go ahead. I'm glad y'all could make it. My name is Cindy. You can feel free to call me Cindy. I've been told your name is Melissa, and yours is Stacy. Is it okay if I call you that? Okay. So before we get started, I'm going to describe to you a little bit about how this interview is going to go, and then you can let me know if you're okay with that. I do want to let you know that everything said here is confidential, except for one thing. This is a duty to warn state, which means that if I feel that you're a threat to yourself or anyone else, then I'll have to report it to the proper authorities. We're going to talk for about 30 minutes, and I will ask you a few questions along the way so that I can make sure I understand what you're saying and maybe to get clarification on some things. Then we'll take a 5-minute break where you can go to the vending machines if you'd like, get a drink, or just wait for 5 minutes, and I will be in another room going over what you told me. When we come back, I will give you some feedback, and we will talk more until our session is over. What do you think about that?
Fine.
Do you have any questions so far?
No, I don't have any. Do you have any? No.
Great. So tell me about the concern that brings you here today.
Well, I'm a single parent, and I have 2 girls. Stacy here, she's my oldest. She's 11. And lately she's been going to the community center. Well, here recently, I've seen a change in her attitude, and her attitude's just gotten out of control, and she's just not listening to anything I say.
Okay, so Stacy's your oldest daughter, and she goes to the community center, and you've noticed that she's been acting out by talking back to you and showing an attitude?
Yeah, last week I talked to her teacher, and her teacher said that she's helpful with the other children, especially those that are younger than her, and she also said that she could be cruel and sharp at times to the children who are not as fast as she is and not as bright. She's also very rude to her 5-year-old little sister.
And how much time does Stacy spend at the community center?
Usually afternoons for about 4 hours. As soon as I get off work, I go pick them up. She spends weekends there too. The only day she doesn't go is on Sunday, and that's usually my day off. And I can spend the day with them.
Okay, so you spend most of your afternoons at work, and therefore your girls have to stay at the community center until you're able to pick them up. Now, is there a time when you notice Stacy isn't acting out?
Yeah, when she wants something. She acts sweet and helpful, and we get along, but it has become so rare for us to get along lately.
Okay, I'm going to ask Stacy a few questions now. Stacy, is it okay if I ask you a few questions?
Yeah.
How do you feel about going to the community center after school?
I'm not a kid anymore. I don't want to go.
What makes you not want to go?
I'm too old for that. It's a daycare. All the kids are babies, and I don't want to be there. I should be old enough to stay home by myself. It's not fair. All my friends can stay home.
Okay, I see that you really don't enjoy spending all that time at the center. How does it make you feel when you're around younger kids?
Shoot, I don't remember my thing wrong. It's alright. There's not much to do, so I try to help others, and I enjoy it, but sometimes these little kids are so annoying. I don't like being around them at times. I spend so much time at the center, and it drives me crazy, so when I come home, I'm in a bad mood.
Do you think maybe that's the reason you talk back to your mom?
Yeah? She hardly spends any time with us. When she picks us up, she's so tired from work. I feel like she just bosses me around. I understand she's tired, but I'm tired too. I'm spending so much time with these little annoying kids.
I see. So you feel like your mom is spending too much time at work and not enough time with you and your sister, and you feel like she bosses you around. Okay, let me ask you both a question. It may sound a little strange at first, but bear with me. Suppose you wake up in the morning and a miracle has happened. This miracle is that all of your problems are gone. What's the first thing you will notice?
Well, I guess that when I wake up in the morning and I wake Stacy up, she gets out of bed without starting a fight. And I wouldn't have to worry about her being disrespectful. She'd be more helpful around the house and with her little sister and wouldn't complain about going to the community center. Her attitude would be gone and I wouldn't have to deal with her smart remarks.
And would you notice that Stacy is more respectful? So you would notice that Stacy is more respectful and helpful.
Yes.
And what would you notice different in you?
That's a good question. I guess I wouldn't have to work so much and I'd be able to spend more time with my girls.
Wow. I can see that spending time with your girls is really important to you. Stacy, would you notice anything?
Well, my mom wouldn't be working so much, which means I wouldn't have to go to the center all the time. She would be able to spend more time with me and my sister, and she wouldn't be tired and bossy.
So you would notice that you and your mom spend more time together and get along?
Yeah, exactly.
So from what I hear from the both of you is that you want to spend more time together and be able to get along. Well, can you think of any times that you did spend time together and got along?
Well, before Mom started working weekends, we would go shopping, bake cookies, go to the park, and stuff like that. I really enjoyed our time together.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't notice at first, but now that she mentioned it, I have noticed that we did have a lot of fun over the weekends. Her attitude was a lot better and I wasn't so tired all the time.
Can you think of a way you guys could achieve this again, maybe?
Well, that would mean I'd have to stop working weekends and I guess I could find someone to take over the shift.
Is that something you would be willing to do, Melissa?
Yeah. I mean, I'd do anything to make our relationship better. I really would.
And Stacy, how do you feel about that and what do you think you could do?
I really like that. I guess I could try to be more respectful towards my mom and patient with the kids at the center.
Okay, this sounds good. Let's take a break now and I will be back to give you some feedback. Okay, ready? Okay, so I've looked over my notes and I think we can come up with a few solutions. First off, Melissa, you sound like you really care about your daughters. It seems that you're doing everything you can to support your daughters, including taking them to the center. And Stacy, it's good that you help out with the younger children, even if you do think they're annoying at times. That shows maturity. It also seems like you love your mom. Melissa, you suggested that you could take off the weekends, and Stacy, you suggested that you could be more respectful with your mom and patient with the children from the center.
Yeah, I could talk to a coworker about it, and it's a great possibility that I could stop working weekends and spend more time with the others.
Well, since my mom is willing to do that, then I'd be willing to cooperate and be better.
Okay, so why don't we work on that, and on the next section we can talk about how that went.